just like that, time to get this inspection done. All right, but first, I've got to make a super quick pit stop at CVS. I have a little bit of a sore throat, and I have narrowed down the cause to you're with a chick who's got a cat, you're somewhat allergic to cats, so you get a stuffy nose, and then at night you're breathing through your mouth, boom, there goes your throat for like 2 days. So I'll be a couple minutes late, like 3 minutes late to this inspection. I don't like being late to anything ever, but gotta grab some like lozenge throat drops or whatever. There we go, CVS. Bingo, something like that ought to work. Bingo, there we go. Also got 2 of these like fancy little chocolate things, a little early Christmas gift. One for the property inspector, Scott, great guy, absolutely fantastic, who does all my properties, every inspection, super, super easy to work with. And then another one for a property manager, Zach, who's been helping me out a lot. So yeah, you always just gotta show love and appreciation. Also, my life improved dramatically. Well, maybe not dramatically, but a lot. When I started making these, check this out. I started buying like a bunch of fruits and, you know, just mix them together. And when you leave them all together in a bin, I don't know, the flavors just kind of mix together. I'm a fruit guy, love fruits and veggies, but man, these fruit bowls are crazy. I got 2 identical ones. This one's got apples, and the other one I made yesterday has pears. And these are, I mean, these are huge, just like half gallon. Awesome. Great choice. Highly recommend it. Now, I'll give you some details on this property later. I just want to show you it real quick. We're running through the numbers just because transparency is key. It's a small property. There's nothing crazy. It's not a flex. It's a little 6 unit. But it is, you know, progression steps towards a goal of mine. And this one's really cool. I think there's a decent amount of meat on the bones. It's not some home run. I'm just looking for solid doubles with some cash flow. So yeah, I'll run you through the numbers here in a minute. But let me show you the property. All right, here we are. 3 buildings. It's a duplex, a triplex, and then a single studio in the back. So 3 buildings, 6 units, all new roofs in 2019. So just like any property, there's gonna be issues. The mold inside of this shower was nothing that I wasn't really expecting. It didn't throw me off too much, although it was disgusting. Here's a quick walkthrough just of some of the videos I take. I like to take a lot of photos and videos when I'm actually doing the inspection or the walkthrough. This was a sewer that had backed up and absolutely nasty. It was not a septic that was on the property. It was from the sewer. You can see me peek my head out in there, but absolutely disgusting. The smell was so ridiculous. Now, checking out some of the hot water heaters, I'm just looking for rust, looking for signs of leaks, looking for wear and tear, also seeing how new the unit is. So just a walkthrough, kind of seeing the tenant profile. Some of the tenants were a little bit messier. We'll kind of, you know, it just depends on the area you're in. But I like to take a lot of these videos just so I can see a little bit more about the property when I'm doing my reviews later and looking at it. Here's the kitchen in one of the units. A lot of things going on here. There's new roofs, new fence, which looks great. There's no ventilation in the units above the stoves, which is a little bit of a concern. And right here is a standalone studio. Very interesting setup, pretty nice kitchen. It was recently added. So you can kind of see the tenant profile based on how they leave their place. But I'm excited for this property. It's a solid 6 unit value add. Watertight, yes or no? It's wood. Oh boy. So now that you've seen the property, I wanted to give you just a higher level overview on the numbers behind it. I will make another video when I'm actually closing on the property, maybe a little vlog of the day. Let me know if that's something you'd want to see in the comments below. But I'm super excited for this property for one simple reason. Once you buy something that has more than 4 units, not 4, but 5 or more, you're now entering what's typically known in the multifamily apartment space as commercial residential, which is where you're no longer able to finance with a standard residential mortgage, a conventional, typical mortgage, 30-year fixed rate. It's a little bit different. And it's both a good and bad thing. When it's a smaller deal, like 5 units, 6 units, 10 units, 15, the financing still is a little bit of a pain in the butt. But when you're doing 60, 100, 500 unit, 1,000 unit deals, massive stuff, the financing actually becomes a lot easier because it's very asset dependent and it really depends on your relationship with that lender or that bank or institution. So what's cool is the value of the properties are actually found a little bit differently. So for an example, if I have a duplex, it's still going to be similar in pricing to a lot of the homes in the area. It's going to be similar to the market for what other duplexes are selling for. It's actually not valued based on the income that the property produces because it's less than 4 units. But once you get onto a commercial loan and the property size increases, the value of your property is pretty much solely derived from what's known as the NOI. That stands for the net operating income, meaning how much money the property makes minus all the expenses, what is left. That's the NOI. And now you basically have that amount of money to pay any debt payment every single month, and the rest is profit, which is known as cash flow. So I'm super excited for this project because now I get to control the value of the property a lot closer. When you're doing a duplex, a triplex, a house, it's very much so the comparable model. What is the house down the street that's the same size selling for? The market kind of controls that. Whereas when you're buying a, let's just do for easy math, a 10-unit apartment building, if each of those are paying you $1,000 a month, and you can bump the rents because the new market rent is $1,100, or you made it better, you improved all the units, you did something, well, now you're increasing the value of the property by a lot. A lot of people really underplay. To put it in perspective, if you raise the rents on a 100-unit apartment complex just by $20 a month, which is a very standard end of the lease bump, they just raise it a bit. It's not enough for someone to move out, but it covers additional expenses. You just increase the value of the property. If you raise all of the 100 units by $20, by $480,000. You heard that correct, at a 5 cap rate, because the value of the property is just boosted so much based on that net operating income. So on a smaller deal like this, where I know that the rents are substantially low, even based on the property's current condition, it's just barely under market rent, but I know what similar things are renting for in the area when they're fully renovated, and I'm gonna see about a $350 to a $400 per unit rent increase across 6 units. So I should very easily be able to have this be a nice value add, and we'll see in a year or so. Is it something I decide to flip? That's probably the route I'm going to lean towards versus everything else in my portfolio that's usually a longer term hold. But I do want to prove this concept of a little bit of a faster fix and flip with the small multifamily. But I'm really excited for it because I don't like using the word guarantee, but much more closely control the value of the property and what I can sell it for. And it just seems like there's more serious people in that side of things. When you go to sell the property, it's just more serious people that you're dealing with. They've usually already been in the game. They understand it a little bit more. And again, you can just control the value of the property a lot closer. So I'm excited for it. It's the first 6 unit I've ever purchased. Make sure to drop a like down below. If we get enough people asking for it, I will film the entire day, maybe a fun little day vlog, but showing a little bit more about the closing process. I'm actually doing a 1031 exchange to purchase this property. I actually really don't want to sell the asset that I am rolling into this, but I really want to learn the process so that when I move into bigger deals, I'm comfortable with it. I know who I'm going to use. I've done all the attorney research, talked to my attorney, my CPA. I understand everything about it. So like for an example, the property that I'm selling to exchange into this one, deferring all my taxes, I've taken depreciation. So technically, if you sell a property, that depreciation has to be recaptured. Well, I can also defer that in the next property. So I have about $56,000 worth of depreciation recapture that's also being deferred, which would have been about a $15,000 tax bill. So I'm learning all these pieces, and that's the goal here, doing it on a smaller scale so I can firsthand see the entire process, and I'm really excited for it. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe the next update on it will be that fun video of actually closing on the property where I'll walk a little bit more through the numbers, the cost associated with, for an example, like closing on a commercial property versus a residential one. Also the cost of doing a 1031 exchange. If there's anything else you'd like me to talk about, just leave it in the comment section down below. I'd be more than happy to. And don't forget to go follow me over on my Instagram. I post more there every single day, a bunch of behind the scenes, and also I talk a lot about the e-commerce brands that I own that fund all of my real estate investments. That's kind of my day job, if you will. But nonetheless, I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun filming it, doing the voiceover and whatnot, kind of a unique style, but I had a lot of fun doing it. So hope you enjoyed. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.